Is spirit vinegar paranormal? They say all dogs go to heaven. What about the Michigan Dog Man? Answers to these questions and more on this episode of This Paranormal Life! Hello and welcome back to This Paranormal Life. This is the weekly comedy podcast where every Tuesday you're joined by me, Kit Grimovena, and this guy sitting across from me, Mr. Rory Powers. Every week, get to the bottom of a different paranormal case, deciding by the end of that episode whether we think it's real or not. Rory, how the hell are you doing?
You didn't sound that into it when you were injured. You were like, every week, just do some cool stuff. Do a podcast. So if we could just let's try that again, but let's dial that energy up to 1,000.
My energy doesn't have to be at 1,000, Rory, because I'm the best. Do you think Michelangelo, every morning he woke up and was like, I can't wait to get painting?
I think he was.
No.
I think he was pretty amped.
He woke up every morning and he was like, another day to be the best.
Right,
that is me, the best paranormal investigator there is.
Because I'm so bad, I have to try and hype myself up to be the best. I don't know.
Kinda.
I think probably Leonardo da Vinci, I think he was probably having a Monster Energy drink in the morning.
I don't think
vaping on his lunch
energy.
break, just being like, I got to get through this, man.
Yeah, I do like the idea of Leonardo da Vinci just trying to get through painting the Mona Lisa. He's like, Harry's getting off work at 5. We're supposed to be hitting the bar at 6. Mate, and we got tickets. They're saying last entries. Oh my God, 8:30 for the rave tonight. Really gotta. Should I paint a proper smile? No, just half a smile. That'll do.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
For hundreds of years, art experts are like, it's the most mysterious and unknown smile in all of art history.
He just wanted a pint. We wanted to clock off early.
To get finished, so we did. Well, Rory, maybe I'm not overflowing with adrenaline this morning, but usually you have enough for the two of us. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I did ride over here on a motorbike, so that already put me at 110% energy.
Right, well, and I'm at home. We're recording at my house right now, so...
Right, so you woke up, you're still in your PJs, I can tell from the waist down.
Still on that first cup of coffee of the day, for sure.
Whereas I put on a helmet and rode on a steel horse at 60 miles per hour. And let me tell you something. I've owned that motorbike for probably about a year now. I don't know how to brake. They didn't teach me how to brake at the motorbike store.
Yeah, they don't teach you anything at the motorbike shop. It's fully understood that you would already learn how to ride a motorbike before buying one.
I gave them money and they threw a set of keys at me. And I took this thing on the motorway. I've never even ridden a horse. Let alone a steel horse.
The steel horse analogy is more just a turn of phrase.
Yeah, so the only way I know how to slow down is by accelerating less, which makes red lights fun.
Yeah, you shouldn't be accelerating at all if you're trying to stop. School ahead. All right, I guess we'll just rev a little bit.
Better take this bad boy down to 60. I did get here in one piece, and I am excited to investigate a new paranormal tale.
Well, Rory, I've known you a long time, and if there's one thing I know about you that other people might not, is that this...
Don't say it!
Huh?
Is it the weird dick thing?
No, wasn't that at all.
Oh, so right. I thought you were going to say the one thing that you know about me.
What is that?
Well, no, what was your thing?
You have like a tiny dick or something?
No, not a tiny dick. It's just the angles interesting.
You said we... Okay, so you have a crooked dick, yeah. That's fine.
The medical term is the boomerang.
That's not the medical
because it's...
There's no way that's the medical term. The boomerang. If a doctor told you that, fire that doctor. Get a different doctor. Or report them.
Yeah. Sorry, no, what was... You were saying you know me for such a long time.
Did he really say that to you? That's busted.
He does, yeah. And it's a serious condition. You can get rid of it temporarily, but it always comes back. That's the boomerang.
A boomerang is... Because you said the angle's weird, so I was like just kind of a normal, healthy kind of...
Nope, nothing healthy about this.
As Megan Thee Stallion said, I like it with a little bit of curve. Call that guy Captain Hook.
Oh, God.
Just a gentle curve, but you're saying a boomerang is almost a 90-degree angle.
I can pee around a corner.
Yeah. I think we should move on. So the one thing I know about you is that you're a dog guy, right?
Right. That's the thing you know about me.
Big, small, friendly, or legally insane. Rory loves dogs of all kinds. One time I saw Rory scrolling Instagram over his shoulder. He only follows dogs on Instagram. That's his entire feed, basically.
It's mostly dogs. In fact, at one point, a few months ago, one of the dogs I follow on Instagram passed away. And
That's how long you've been following dogs. God damn it. You
One of them
followed him
died.
since he was a pup.
I was genuinely devastated. I had people asking me that week, like, are you okay? Is everything all right? You seem off. And I was like, no, Bruce died today.
Yeah.
And they're like, who's Bruce? Is that like a childhood friend?
King
I was like, in a
Popo.
way. Yeah. Yeah, it's devastating.
Well, Rory, I know you love dogs. That's a big part of your personality. That is a big part of all millennials' personality, I would argue. But today's story might make you feel a tiny bit differently about dogs going forward.
Okay. Ooh.
We are going to dive right into today's investigation after a couple of words from today's sponsors, with a quick reminder that every episode of this show is available ad-free right now
Whoa!
at patreon.com/This
Paranormal Life. Go to Patreon.
The link is in the description. Swipe up, hit the YouTube comments, whatever it is. Rory, it is the early 1900s and we're in Guatemala City. It is about 2 a.m. and a man named Oscar is stumbling out of a bar into the street.
Okay.
All right, I'm going.
We gotta close sometime. You don't have to go home,
But I can't stay here, I know.
that's right. Get home safe, though. You shouldn't go alone.
But Oscar didn't even hear that last bit. He was already almost gone.
Oscar! Don't go alone.
He fell into a bin in the street.
That wasn't even the thing I was worried about. There's a whole different thing out there.
Is he all right? Yeah, he's gonna sleep in a bin again, I think. He was stumbling down the street, hiccuping and knocking into walls and doors of buildings.
Oh, shit.
Except this was the 1900s. You couldn't drop a pin to your bestie to let them know you were home safe. There was no Uber. There was no find my friends. You were just raw dogging life. And this made Oscar a target.
Ooh.
It didn't take long before he was being followed. And a few streets over, two men stepped out of the dark.
Ooh, we got some pickpockets.
All right. What we got here? It doesn't matter where you are in the world. That's what pickpockets have to sound like.
There's one of those motherfuckers in an alleyway.
One of them's got a funny eye and he's got a butterfly knife. Shing, shing.
You could be in downtown Tokyo in Shibuya walking home late one night and some guy's gonna walk out and go, well, little lost, are we? Miyazaki-san, what we got here then? Anything Genki for old Thomas? Hontoni takai desu ne?
Ryotaro-san, you know you're not welcome in Shibuya Crossing. They instantly pushed Oscar over and he collapsed in the street.
It's too easy when they're this drunk. Grab his wallet.
Hey, give me that. I need it for booze. Ooh! They kicked him in the stomach. But just then, they heard a noise coming from the pitch black at the end of the alley. A growling. They spun around thinking it was a street dog, but all they could see were two piercing blue eyes in the darkness. And then a loud booming bark. It jumped out, revealing a gleaming white dog, but this thing was at least the size of a wolf.
Oh, El Cadejo!
Said one of the men.
El Cadejo!
They split and the beast chased them for a moment until they were gone. Oscar couldn't believe it. He looked at the dog and drunkenly said, "Thanks, man. Really appreciate it." But as the creature stared at him, he swore that in his mind, he could hear the dog talk.
What?
"My mission is complete, Oscar." "Mission?" said Oscar. "My mission to protect you from danger." "What the?" And with a flash of light, the street was empty again, and Oscar was alone. All he knew was he had just had an encounter with the legendary El Cadejo.
So it's a no from me this week.
No,
Thanks for bringing this one to the table.
Yo,
Really appreciate
chill,
it.
bro, chill.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Chill. All right, Boomer Wang. Let's bring this in. You need some shit cut from the episode, and now I think I need some shit cut from the episode. All right, yo.
Okay. So
we
are talking
kicking
about
off with a blast here. And hey,
telepathic dog man,
yeah.
but some sort of
No,
superhero.
not a dog man. A giant kind of wolf-like dog
Okay.
known as El Cadejo. I will just say, because I seem to be rapidly losing Rory. We're minutes into the podcast, so I might be losing some audience members. I will say sometimes we might be hearing of an origin story or a legend that surrounds a cryptid, right?
Sure,
right? It might not
yeah.
be like first-hand testimony, you know? This
It's
was over
dramatized,
This
I
was over
see.
100 years ago too, so yeah,
okay.
right. Use your imagination, read between the lines here of what's
Sure.
happening. Rory, have you ever heard of El Cadejo?
No, clearly not ever in my life. He solves crime.
No!
He's
I don't know if you noticed.
he's some sort of wolf detective.
He didn't solve shit. He made sure. I think El Cadejo was realistically like, I think Oscar's got it. Oh shit, he don't got this.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, I think they're about to kick him in the head. I need to step in here.
right, so he's
guys,
still-
get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay, so he still is. I don't know. Has a semblance of the understanding of justice within his head. Okay, so he's like, he's not just a smart. Because like we talk about cryptids, and they're kind of intelligent in the way that they know what berries will kill them if they eat it.
Mm-hmm.
This wolf is stepping in to stop assault on the streets at night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's very sentient.
Yeah, vigilante wolf, Batman dog, whatever you want to call it.
Let's not throw another animal in there. I think Batman, dog is like three things
I
combined.
might call this episode Batman dog, actually.
Please don't.
Look, Rory might not have heard of this thing, but anyone listening in Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica, Mexico, or Nicaragua will already know about El Cadejo, that it is a paranormal spirit who appears in the form of a dog roaming the roads of the country in the dead of night.
Got it. Okay, already more into it now. That's kind of cool. Like, I was thinking of it as more of a real physical thing, but maybe more in the theme of the third man. This is like a figure, a spirit, a ghost, an entity that appears when people are going through a bad time to guide them towards safety.
Exactly.
I'm back, baby. I'm
Hey.
back in.
The spirit comes in various forms, which we will explore as we go here, but generally the Cadejo has shaggy fur, hooves of a deer or goat,
All right.
and in some instances is large as a cow.
So Batman, cow, deer.
Forget the Batman thing. I'm deleting the Batman thing from the episode. It's, for all intents and purposes, a dog. Sure, if you look down too low, whoa, hooves. But the rest of it is mostly a dog.
That is a red flag. If the entity that's helping me has hooves, I don't know. I'm going to be a little more suspicious. Be anything else. If you could take the form
Any
of
other
anything.
feet, even human feet, as disgusting as that would be. You imagine a dog with human feet?
I don't want to.
I know that's on deviantart.com somewhere.
I'd rather that than hooves.
That's furry porn for real, for real. Look, I'll throw you a bone here. We've got some of our own preconceptions we need to get over, because normally on this Paranormal Life, every cryptid is a threat, basically. I don't go anywhere without a baseball bat and an adult nappy, because if I get cornered in an alley by Bigfoot, I'm going to shit myself and start swinging.
Sure. I think maybe the only good one is maybe Mothman. He's a cryptid who I think is kind of helpful. He doesn't really eat people.
Yeah, I mean, he gives you a heads up.
Yeah,
that
he lets
something
you
bad
know
is-
when
but he
something
doesn't
bad's
try
gonna
to
happen.
stop it remotely.
That's true.
It's
He
like-
might be causing it.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I think he's kind of like James Bond villain coded, where he's like, he set out a dastardly plan. But you know, in James Bond, they always have to sit James Bond down for like 20 minutes and explain every step of the plan they've just set out.
Right. Because they're excited. They don't have a lot of friends to share it with. I
Yeah.
get it. If I lived inside of a volcano and finally had a guy visiting me, I'd want to talk to him about my plans.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be exciting. You'd be like, so the volcano's going to erupt, the one we're in. It's going to kind of destroy the land, and then I'll buy the land. Do you want a beer or something? I feel like we're really kicking
Yeah,
things
have
off
we
here.
realized
This is
that
great.
James Bond villains just have like ADHD? They're just over explaining.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't understand. No, I definitely do understand. No, you don't understand. So the volcano opens. It's not actually a real volcano. How cool is that? No, we all knew that. We saw it. Right. It opened. Right. Yeah. Sorry. You saw that bit. It opens up and then like a rocket comes out. And the rocket, this is so cool. I had my guy hook up the rocket to this button.
James Bond is like nodding along, clearly like inching closer towards his pistol. That's really cool, bud.
And then, so I need to show you, oh shit, I haven't taken my Adderall today. Okay, I stay there 2 seconds. I'm going to grab my
2 seconds,
Adderall.
bud.
As I say, cryptids often a threat, but El Cadejo is different. It is considered a guardian. It protects travelers, vagrants, and drunks as they move around at night. But this is a pretty cool idea, isn't it?
I like it a lot. Even more so than I thought I would at the start, to be honest.
Do you want to get a sense of what this thing looks like?
Oh, you might lose me with this one, but sure, let's do it.
let's give it a go.
All right.
Cadejo number 1, artist interpretation.
It's just a goat.
It's not a goat.
That is literally a goat. That's the one thing I said I don't want to see.
No,
it's a goat.
No, it has got the horns of a goat.
The head of a goat?
I didn't say that.
The hooves of a goat?
No, it's a wolf with goat horns.
That is not a wolf.
And the paws are pretty much paws.
I've seen
that might be
Twilight.
A hoof. The back hoof might be a hoof.
I've seen Twilight 17 times. I know what a wolf is. All right?
Goats don't look that cool.
No,
I would say that.
Dude, if this thing is turning up to save me, it's saving me for the wrong person. That's what I'm saying.
Right, gleaming white fur, gleaming blue eyes. This thing looks like Gandalf the White.
Shiny horns, polished hooves, the smell of sulfur, and lost souls burning eternally.
As I say, this thing is not just a pure cryptid in the sense of an animal unknown to science and God. As I say, it is considered a spirit. So kind of somewhere between a ghost, cryptid, and spirit.
Okay, I like this combination we got going on.
But unfortunately, the Cadejo is so ancient that it has many origin stories. One legend tells that God sent the Cadejo to protect those that lived further away from towns, were out in the late hours of the night and needed protection from entities like La Ciguanaba.
We gonna hear any more about that thing?
I will say I did not know what La Ciguanaba was, so I Googled it. And brother, I think I need protected from this thing as well.
Oh, holy shit. What is this? What the hell is this thing?
How could a drawing be so simplistic and so disturbing at the same time?
Yeah.
It's basically a line drawing of the most terrifying cryptid I've ever seen.
This is it's a naked woman. With a skull of a deer, it seems like,
yeah, instead
on
of
her
a head. Skull of I think it's actually a horse. I want to say it's a horse.
Legs
skull.
Of a chicken. And
for sure.
You know when people say, ask, are these boobs natural? These are supernatural boobs. They are floating.
Right. Big supernaturals.
They're floating in the sky. They're long. They're about 10 feet long, protruding from her body like tentacles. Wish you hadn't shown me that.
Yeah, well,
All right, send the goat. Yeah, send the goat. I do need the help.
They have, as simplistic as this drawing is, they've also taken the time to draw in substantial pubic hair. Anyway.
I know.
The point of that is, you didn't even know before recording this episode what El Cadejo was protecting you from. Now you know.
Motherfucker doing his job. Yeah. If I don't even know the thing, he's stopping.
It's like, the way, let's bring it back to Batman for a second. No one
shouldn't do this.
No one thanks Batman. That's part of why he's such a little he's listening to Linkin Park. He's sad as because no one ever thanks him. No one ever knows when they're walking around Gotham City what he's protected them from.
That's true. Everyone does know about the Joker though, because he kills many people all the time. So Batman could probably be doing a bit of a better job.
And I think in that sense, Batman probably, kind of likes the Joker to some extent because he's like, all right, you guys see what I'm dealing with. This is bullshit. Can I get some help?
I think if anything, Batman is doing such a bad job that all of his enemies are actually quite famous and reoffenders.
Yeah, they've never seen jail. And it's like, Batman, I think you need to reassess your whole policy of not killing people because they keep recommitting crimes.
Right.
The city is corrupt. They keep letting them out.
Batman's like, oh yeah, I spent the weekend fighting this guy called the Joker. And Gotham City's like, we know about the Joker. Oh, we are well aware of the Joker, Batman. Every weekend he's out there putting bombs in vans and spray painting shit. You guys tussle, he goes to jail and he's out by Friday. We know about the Joker.
Yeah, I like in the beginning.
Oh, what about the Penguin? Were you going to say the Penguin?
Penguin's got 2 million followers on Instagram. He's famous. So famous. In the beginning, Batman and Commissioner Gordon were fist bumping. They're best mates. But Commissioner Gordon's like, Batman, we need your help. No, because I keep bringing him to prison. And then you call me 3 days later and say you broke out of prison. Commissioner Gordon, you're not doing your job. You're not doing your job at all.
Invest in a better prison infrastructure. That is the problem here. Clearly.
So I think if we're learning anything, El Cadejo is very similar to Bruce Wayne, getting absolutely no credit for the things it is protecting us from. But look, I realize this sounds pretty abstract, pretty crazy at this point. It's hard for us to wrap our heads around how widely this is believed. And not only believed today, but believed through history. People fully believe in the protective power of El Cadejo and believe they have seen it. I think this next bit is so cool. In El Salvador in particular, a huge number of the sightings of El Cadejo took place during the Salvadoran Civil War that started in 1979. A brutal period of violence over like 10 plus years where thousands and thousands were killed. So needless to say, El Cadejo had to work overtime to protect the people of El Salvador from violence. And many soldiers as well as civilians reported seeing the legendary white dog looking over them.
Wow, okay, so he is, as we've seen before, not only protecting them from the flappy boob spirits, but also just real life violence. I guess he's quite patriotic as well, if he's clearly fighting for one side in a war.
I was gonna say,
it's quite weird.
We don't know much about the Salvadoran Civil War, but like if we copy paste that, let's say, onto the United States North American Civil War, it's like, oh shit, it's El Cadejo. Wait, what flag is he flying?
What side?
What flag is he flying right now? He seems to be, he's helping a lot of people over on that side of the river.
Yeah.
But has anyone seen him? We ain't seen him today at all.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Was he always this white? Like we knew he was a spirit, but he is really glowing today, isn't he?
And while this legend is focused on Central America, El Cadejo does actually get around. It's been cited in Texas, and even British theologian Samuel Drew, all the way back in 1780, believed he had seen El Cadejo, describing in a letter that he, quote, heard the great clatter of hooves and then saw a huge dog with glowing eyes.
Where did he see this?
In Britain.
Why? What?
I think Britain is the
Okay.
idea. That is genuinely quite interesting, though, because we've seen before, stay with me here, that while El Cadejo, okay, if he's a cryptid, he might live in Central America. That's where he's been seen by thousands or hundreds of people. But we have seen with other paranormal spirits, particularly close to home here in Ireland, where we're recording this podcast, there are omens, there are creatures, let's say like the banshee, which are actually connected to families.
Bloodlines.
So
Yeah.
the banshee famously used to only scream at night on the death of one of the members of one of the, I believe, 10 great families of Ireland.
Right.
So maybe that's how El Cadejo works, is it's kind of among the diaspora, no matter where someone from that bloodline goes. You know, is El Cadejo really doing its job if as soon as you leave the country by the airport, he's like, good luck to you. Give a whatever happens to you on holiday. Hope you got travel insurance, because I ain't coming.
Well, there's one way to have a little insight as to whether or not this guy should be protected. What was his name again?
Samuel Drew.
I mean...
Maybe Samuel Drew was beating the shit out of somebody in an alley.
yeah.
That guy was from Nicaragua.
Yeah, that would make
And El
more
Cadejo
sense.
was like, Samuel, bro, chill.
You got to stop it.
Yeah.
Took me so long to get here.
You want to catch these paws? You want to catch these hooves? Keep going, Samuel. But Rory, don't just take it from me or the people of El Salvador. Take it from the commune. Because today's case actually comes as a suggestion from a listener email. So Kevin emailed us just last month saying, I am writing to you to suggest a paranormal case close to my home country of Nicaragua. He writes, imagine a Catholic guardian angel, but better because it's a big ass wolf.
I can see why you did this case based off this email.
Couldn't agree more, Kevin. He goes on, I love this story because my grandma used to tell me her first-hand experience with El Cadejo when she was a little girl. She used to deliver raw meat for her mother, who owned a butchery.
Can we pause there for a second?
Huh?
All I'm going to say is a bit of a red flag already, because if you are someone whose job is to deliver raw meat, there's a high chance you're going to see a couple wolves on your journey.
Does that follow? I mean, if you are a donut salesman, does that mean you're going to see Homer Simpson? I mean, if you live in Springfield, sure.
Yeah.
But everywhere? I mean, it can't be everywhere at once, you know what I mean?
All right, continue.
She told me that once during a delivery, it got dark sooner than she was expecting.
A raw meat delivery?
Yeah, and we're talking the countryside in Latin America during the 1960s. Public lighting was a luxury at this time, so she was very anxious because it was late, and she wasn't anywhere near delivering all her orders. She was extremely worried, but on her route, she eventually noticed this big-ass white dog following her through her path, and she felt instant relief and her shoulders relaxed because she knew El Cadejo was watching over her and tracking her until she finally met a family friend on the road who escorted her until her delivery. At which point, the big-ass white dog was gone and she was safe.
It was the meat for sure.
Huh?
It was the sacks and sacks
Sorry,
of meat. I think that probably is why you're getting followed
she was
by a
in
dog.
danger though.
Was she?
So, because it was dark.
That's not danger necessarily.
She was dark.
It's
She was a
spooky,
little
to
girl
be-
on a dark
to be
road
fair.
with a ton of meat. And it's basically dripping blood all over the ground. For all we know, dangerous animals could have been following her, Rory.
Hey, let me tell you, I think I told this story on the podcast recently, but as someone who was recently in Indonesia and traveling late at night in the dark, I had a couple dogs show up alongside me. It didn't make me feel any safer
Yeah.
because they started chasing me.
They wanted your phone. You were getting mugged again, bro. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we do forget because you live in London.
Yeah.
I live in Ireland. Actually, not a ton of street dogs, but there are countries where there's lots of street dogs.
We have a lot of foxes, but yeah.
I read that the other day, actually, that I didn't realize that it's like something like more than half of all the dogs in the world are like street dogs.
Very sad.
Not that many are pets. A lot of them are pets, but not all of them. Kevin writes, let's finish the story.
Sure.
I love this story because, admittedly, when I first heard it, I was really into Pokemon and Digimon. So a big legendary white wolf sounded like the most awesome freaking thing ever. Now, as an adult, I think that the white dog grandma saw was probably a stray dog that was enticed by the raw meat my grandma was carrying and it was stalking her.
Okay. I'm glad you said it, Kevin. I felt a little bad bringing that up, but if we're all on the same page.
Right. Kevin is
Very cool.
nothing if not a self-aware guy. But interesting nonetheless that I will say, at least we know that in the Salvadoran Civil War, all those guys probably weren't carrying around big bags of raw meat. Not every sighting of El Cadejo is accompanied by a big sack of meat.
Right. Was the guy in our first story, because he was pissed, was he like walking home with a KFC
He was eating
bucket?
a kebab, yeah. That's
And the big dog showed up.
actually really possible. Now that we're talking about it. Or else it was just like a vulture. They're like, this guy's going to be dead expeditiously. Let's feast on him when he finally keels over. Look, Rory, we've heard a lot about El Cadejo already. It's extremely badass, and I stan it. But what if I told you that it was literally only half the story?
Whoa.
Because, Rory, as in life, where there is yin, there is yang. And the white Cadejo simply implies the existence of the black Cadejo, the evil Cadejo.
Oh, shit.
I am scared already. Let's investigate this thing after a couple of words from today's sponsors. Alright, we're back and talking about El Cadejo. Rory, the evil Cadejo is f***ed. It's completely black all over. And instead of piercing blue eyes, it has burning red eyes.
Okay.
It is basically straight out of hell. Even the word Cadejo is believed to originate from the word for chains. It lives in graveyards and dark alleys. It twists and rattles as it moves.
Ew.
It has hooves bound by red-hot chains. If it looks at you, you freeze on the spot. And worst of all, it smells like concentrated piss.
Okay. Weird scent to choose. I guess that's kind of evil.
And if you haven't guessed by now, Evil Cadejo does not protect people. His entire job is people up. It's said that if you encounter Evil Cadejo, it will first make sounds that demoralize you.
Can we get rid of the good one then? Can we just get rid of both of them?
Right.
If the deal is we have this one that also kills people and breaks their legs, just get rid of the whole thing. This is not worth it.
Well, Rory,
I'm just trying to walk home. I don't want the bad one to show up so the good one shows up and there's a Pokemon duel going on. I'm just like, I'm done, guys.
It's like, oh, so are we saying the world is neutral without both of these? Okay, let's have a neutral world then. A gray world.
We could just skip the whole thing where they're fighting each other.
Rory.
Okay.
This is the yin and the yang of life. And within the yin is yang. And within the yang, you guessed it, is some yin. So even the good Cadejo, honestly, if you catch him on the wrong day, he might break your legs.
And the bad one, he's a bit of a softie. He might give you a lift home.
They're both just street dogs. They will do anything to anybody.
Whether they're nice or not depends how much meat you got in the sack. That decides whether it's yin or yang. This dog's turning up just being like, you're like, wait, are you the good one or the evil one? I don't know, bud. How much money you got in that wallet? Let's find out.
He's just a corrupt cop.
How many turkey bones you got in your back pocket, huh?
No, I'm here to help. I am here to help. I'm hungry though. I'm real hungry. You know, I think I'd be feeling a lot better about helping you too if I wasn't so hungry. Once demoralized, it will pounce on you and savagely tear you apart limb from limb.
Yeesh.
That is, unless the white Cadejo is nearby.
So, we got it. All right, so he comes and get rid of them both.
We can't. This is the laws of nature, my friend. The origin stories for the black Cadejo are slightly different for sure than the white Cadejo. One story tells of a young boy who wandered into the home of a dark magician.
The Yu-Gi-Oh card? What is happening?
Man,
you're losing me, bud. You're losing me in the second half.
That is unlucky, isn't it? To be like, man, I need a slash. Let me just ask one of my neighbors here. Dunk, dunk. Yes!
Smoke pours out from the door.
Totally normal guy. Purple robes, purple hat, purple staff.
I need to come in and stop. I know what you seek. The gift of immortality. No, I'd have to use the bathroom really bad. Oh, there's a cauldron in the corner. Be quick. Be quick.
The dark magician could have liquidized the boy on the spot with the flick of his staff. But there was a storm coming in. This is a legend, Rory. Be chill. All right now. And remember, this is an origin story. God knows if it's true. But we need a cool legend to understand where the evil Cadejo came from.
So you have it on record, on old-timey record, that a wizard could have liquefied... Do you say liquefy a boy?
Yeah, liquefied a boy.
Okay.
But there was
just so we all heard that.
There was it, yeah.
Just so we all heard that.
There was this... Where do you think the liquid in the cauldron came from? There's like 3. Is it you know when you get a juice and it's like there's like 6 apples in here? He's like, today's potion is like 7 boys.
12 boys.
There was a storm coming in. So instead, the man said, "Quick, help me stack these logs for the fire." And so the boy helped. Until the dark magician wasn't looking. Then the boy lifted a pendant from his desk, trying to steal it. Well, when the work was done, the dark magician said, "Okay, you can go." And so the boy turned to leave, but heard behind him, "Leaving with my pendant, boy." The boy turned, frightened, and said, "How did you..." Ah!
He's magic.
And the dark magician cast a spell, a hideous curse on the boy, turning him into a black dog with burning red eyes, doomed to wander Earth for eternity.
Got it. Right.
Classic, look, is what it is. Classic kind of Brothers Grimm moralistic tale to teach your children, don't be a bastard.
Don't steal from wizards for a start.
You never know if creepy Gerald, who lives next door, he could be a dark magician.
Right.
You know, he's probably not. He's just a postman. But he could be a dark magician and he could turn you into El Cadejo.
So what made the good one? What made the good wolf? Did the good wolf exist at this point?
There are multiple legends. The one I quoted earlier was that God was just like, people need protection.
Oh, right.
And he just like took him off the bench and sent him down to Earth.
Okay. Got it.
The origin story of the dark magician, that is one origin story. I will say most believe that the dog is just the devil.
That's a little easier to kind of understand. Yeah.
The devil simply turns into a dog and runs around Earth.
Comes out, causes shit, and then the beautiful wolf, spirit wolf, has to come down and bark them off.
And,
I can get behind that.
we've seen that before. And it's kind of it's like a meme of popular culture, is that the devil can't really just kind of take his own form, that he might inhabit the form of either a regular guy, like a human, or a goat or some other creature.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like if you're showing up as the devil, it's a little harder to win people over.
Yeah.
Or trick them. Because he's always trying to trick people into contracts. But if you just show up as the devil, they're like, look, I'm not signing that, buddy. Come on.
Yeah.
That's not good.
I don't know if a dog is going to get you to sign a contract, but yeah.
I don't know. They get me to follow them on Instagram. Yeah. So I'll probably sign anything they push in front of me with their little paws.
Take another look at some of those dogs you're following, bud. Wait, this dog died last week, but it's back and its eyes are red. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. As I say, lots of street dogs, so it makes sense to hide in plain sight. The devil may be hiding in the form of something very familiar, let's say. Look, I'm not immune to the bullshit detector, Rory. I realize that at this point in the story, what we need is evidence. And with the Cadejo, that is quite hard to come by, particularly when we're talking about a guardian spirit of some kind. This is trying to ask Harry Potter for a iPhone photograph of a Patronus. This is blending the worlds of spirit and reality.
Right.
But we're not giving up just yet. There have been modern sightings. In 2016, there was a wave of reported Cadejo activity in the small city of Mexicanos in El Salvador. Strange noises, disturbances, and alleged sightings rocked the city, and it was believed by locals that a practitioner of black magic had somehow summoned the Cadejo to terrorize their community.
Oh, they summoned the bad one?
Yep.
Damn, okay.
And fears...
Well, shit, well then the good one's gonna turn up. You kind of summon them both, don't you?
Right.
If you summon the bad one, it's like a 2-for-1 deal, because he's gonna start kicking off, and then the good one's gotta come.
I do agree that, like, in the yin and yang of things, the whole thing will balance out. My worry is that there is a kind of white Cadejo response time. like when you phone the ambulance. The black Cadejo has 9 minutes to kill whoever he wants.
Right, yeah, he is slammed tonight. He's not gonna make it down there for another 45.
Fears at this point reached such a fever pitch that local news teams were sent to report on it. And I have one of those news coverages here. I will say, it is all in Spanish, so we will stick on the subtitles and try and glean what we can.
Okay.
Para ellos se trata del alma maligna.
Residents of El Salvador experiencing nights of terror. Showing a couple basically on their hands and knees, desperately praying for protection from this beast. This woman won't even open her door.
Yeah, she's talking from behind bars. Now they're showing a picture of the evil version of this guy. This looks more like a dragon. This guy is pulling out his phone for the reporter, and he has a voice memo called Cadejo, and he's playing it for the cameras. Which I assume is just a recording that he took, and it didn't leave him a voicemail one night. Just being like, I'm gonna
you dead. And then he gets a call 5 minutes later. Yo, did the black Cadejo call you? All right, it's a white Cadejo here. Bro, you send me a pin. I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but it was, even I, as the host of this episode, I'm skeptical about the sound that just played.
That was it?
It was a very high-pitched squeal. I think that was a bird or something.
Yeah, they added that in post. That can't be it.
Rory, as you can see, these people are not messing around with this thing.
Genuinely terrified, taking it very seriously. I mean, one of the guys that was being interviewed was the cop. And he was like, I saw it. I saw it. And I'm the guy they pay to have a gun and protect them.
I think I got from the subtitles there briefly that I think he said he was like, I saw it for like a couple of seconds and then it was gone.
It disappeared, yeah.
So, I mean, of course, this kind of sighting, we have those kinds of things here in the UK. We've talked before about like big cat panics in the UK. That's a pretty popular thing here where a rumor will spread amongst particularly like farming communities, rural communities, that a big cat has been spotted. Usually it turns out to be nothing. But I think weirdly, sometimes like panthers have escaped from zoos and things. So it's quite hard to tell.
Right. And I mean, if you're dealing with a creature that basically looks like a wild dog, those sightings are going to be pretty frequent.
That's part of the thing. It could genuinely be lashing out, biting people, etc.
Yeah.
But pretty fascinating that people believe in the paranormal, dark magician element of it. You did mention during that video that they had a picture of the Cadejo, an artist's interpretation, and it looked, as you say, a bit like a dragon. It was very dramatized.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share with you, this isn't even helping my case, but this is the Wikipedia entry for Cadejo.
Oh my, this is wild. It looks like a little vampire. It looks like a bat.
It looks like a pit bull or something has been bitten by a vampire.
Yeah. No one can even agree on what this thing looks like, which really isn't helping
It
today.
hangs out in the dark constantly. You can't get a good look at the thing. Look, I will completely concede that your issue with this thing is the biggest problem in this investigation, which is its likeness to a dog. One of the most common and kind of harmless animals on Earth. And one that is extremely socialized to be around people, to hang around people, to follow them, to chase them, to attack them in some cases, or to be friendly to them. So I would agree there is an inkling of suspicion here that it's like, is the white Cadejo a friendly dog and the black Cadejo is an unfriendly dog?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Possibly.
But at the same time, this doesn't exist in a vacuum. This is very similar to other things we've looked into. I mean, just in general, the concept of kind of spirit animals, protector creatures.
Yeah, this is why spirit animals as a whole are a bit of a difficult one to investigate, because unless they are transparent and glowing and flying in the sky, they're animals. They look exactly like a thing that exists and isn't paranormal. So it's always going to be hard to decide that this is otherworldly if it's just taking the shape of a regular animal. And I think that's kind of what we're having today. It's a dog.
It is true. And a bit like another cryptid case that I investigated recently with the Thunderbird, it starts to get into that area of indigenous legend, indigenous belief, and something that us, the whitest of white people, sitting here in a podcast studio in Ireland, kind of culturally don't understand on some level. Of course, we have our own version of these tales and creatures, but I think we sometimes don't understand the blend of reality, belief, and legend at times.
Sure.
And of course, this part of the world would have had, at least at one time, an extremely large indigenous population with very ancient beliefs. And some believe that the Cadejo could be a very, very old idea. Hence, some of these very vague origin stories that God sent the white dog down to protect people. Like, that's not a creepypasta. That's an old sounding story.
Yeah, although not that much has changed, because the origin story involved a dark wizard cursing a boy. And in the news report we just watched from the last 20 years, they were like, what do you think is the reason he's back? It was a wizard again. We still think it's a dark wizard. So not that much has changed also.
Well, that's the thing about human nature. That's why we're still talking about the Cadejo today.
Well, you are.
At the end of every episode of This Paranormal Life, we have to come down on a conclusion as to whether we think the given paranormal case is real or not. Rory, I've taken you on a pretty whistle-stop tour of Oscar's big night out in Guatemala City, which was definitely real, and all the way through to a modern panic in 2016 of a dark magician terrorizing people and summoning a black dog. But we do have a noted lack of kind of photos and things, a lot of artist interpretations of goats.
Yeah.
So where do you come down, do you think, on the case of El Cadejo?
I really like this story. I mean, is this the first time we've ever investigated a cryptid or a monster that has an evil version of itself?
So sick.
Like, that's kind of cool. That this mother has a Wario?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I kind of wish more cryptids, I mean, as you said, most of them are bad, so I kind of wish they had a good version.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, even that, I think, is a relatively unique thing, is like a creature that only exists to, as I said, Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey voice, I'm here to protect you, Oscar.
Yeah.
God sent me.
Imagine if every time Bigfoot showed up to terrorize campers, there's a guy called Littlefoot who also shows up.
Yeah.
And he's like 3'9", still kind of hairy, but like he's like, they're battling it out. He's like on his back, you know, trying to strangle him.
I think I worked out
cool.
the perfect analogy for the white Cadejo and black Cadejo fighting each other at every opportunity. It's the same as every fight at the end of an episode of Power Rangers. You know, like the big crazy monster shows up and then the Power Rangers band together and transform into a giant machine to fight the beast and in the process destroy the entire city.
Yeah.
Flatten it, killing thousands of people.
And a lot of the time, the bad guys showed up just to kill the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So if the Power Rangers didn't exist, there'd be no devastation or destruction. I agree. Yeah, look, I think this is a great story. Always cool to deep dive into another country's folklore and history. But I don't even need to tell you what we're missing today. We already know. Photographs, physical evidence.
So we do have a voice memo, I think you'll remember.
That's true, completely fake, I think, from a news report. There's just not enough here today to say that this thing really is paranormal. I love that it can still live on as a metaphor or an idea in the hearts of the locals, and I hope people do get strength from it. I don't think it exists,
Awesome.
unfortunately. So it's going to be a no from me this week.
That would just about make it a double no. I think we're exactly in the same camp, Rory. Absolutely love that story. But I think in a pattern, I believe, of kind of cryptid spirit legends that I think even the people of these countries I think they wouldn't even understand me and you taking it here to the podcast to try and pin it down, take a photograph of it. I think they would be a bit confused.
Yeah.
But thank you so much to Kevin, and thank you to your grandmother, I think it was, for sharing that great story. So cool to get it straight from the community.
Yeah.
Remember, if you have your own paranormal experience, send it through to this Paranormal Life podcast at gmail.com.
But Kit, what if I don't have a paranormal story and I just love tuning in every week and I want more episodes. I want to support what we're doing here at This Paranormal Life. How would I do that?
Normally I would say go to Patreon, but you know what? This week, it. Because we are doing something good. Yeah, it. Two fingers in the air to Patreon right now.
I don't think this is right. I don't think. We still have
Because
Patreon,
we
and
have
it's literally
lunch.
how the show is
Bro,
funded.
we don't even need Patreon anymore, bro.
We do. We really do. Don't listen to him.
Because
It's literally how those shows
Okay,
exist.
like, yeah, obviously Patreon pays for our lives.
Everything.
Like, we are professional paranormal investigators, pays our salary so that we can wake up every morning investigating the paranormal, bringing you episodes every week, hiring employees, studio, equipment, these lights, this room, everything. Patreon is essential to all of that. That being said, bro, we've got so much shit coming out on the main feed. Cancel your subscription, bro.
Don't do that. No. Hey, guess what? Because here's a little audio tag for you. No Patreon, no podcast. Because that's what would happen if the Patreon went away. That's how integral it is.
When I say Patreon,
Stop saying that.
I don't
Stop
mean
saying it again.
Like, obviously, I would have to go work in. Obviously, I have no skills. By the way, I'd have to go work in McDonald's tomorrow if Patreon goes away. So I need it so badly. That being said, we are doing a new show at the moment called Campfire. We announced it a couple of weeks back, and we are in the midst of it. But look, Campfire is short-lived. Of course, Patreon is the place to be for hundreds, literally hundreds of archived episodes of This Paranormal Life that are exclusive to Patreon. But yes, it is spooky season, Halloween.
Woo!
And at the time of this coming out, the first episode of Campfire's come out.
Yeah.
David Bowie's Haunted Swimming Pool, which was a blast, and I hope you guys really enjoyed. But this week, on Thursday, we've got a new one for you too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't even need to plug it because it's coming out on this feed and it's free. So we don't need to sell it because we don't get any money from it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Patreon again. From the start, remember when I wanted to bring that up? Because that's how we actually raise money for the company.
And actually, if you were
if
you were smart, if we were smart, we would have actually put all of Campfire on Patreon.
Yeah.
That would have been, now I'm saying it out loud, that would have been real smart.
In
because
hindsight,
then people would have...
Yeah, we could have released it on Patreon as like a exclusive
Because this show is
miniseries.
free anyway, so they get a ton of free stuff. But
we really started giving that away for free, didn't we? It's too late now we can't take it down.
And that was an amazing episode too. And this week's episode is great on Campfire on Thursday. So
shit.
All right, well, me.
Well, hey, you know what? If you enjoyed Campfire and your extra episodes, why not put a little tip. Put a little tip in the hat of your paranormal pals.
Right.
Put a little coin in the bucket.
What is it? Is it tip your hat or put a tip in a bucket? Which is it?
Tip a little hat in the coin in the
Right.
bucket of the
You're getting
bucket of
confused.
things. Give us a wee bit of money.
Yeah, okay, I think just get to the point
Give us
there.
your wallet.
It is true.
Get in me pocket.
For as little as $5 dollars, US dollars,
Yeah.
or around the same in pounds, which these days, in this economy, whenever we started this show, we used to say that would get you 3 pints. That's how long ago we started this podcast.
Yeah.
These days, that wouldn't even get you a pint. It wouldn't even get you a coffee in some godforsaken coffee shops.
I think in some countries it could get you a cashew nut. A single nut.
For as little as that, you get access to a Disneyland of this paranormal life. Endless entertainment. Patreon.com/this paranormal life. Link is in the description of this. If you're on YouTube, look in the description. You'll see links everywhere. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, check out where the little description is. There's links there to everything, all our social medias and everything.
Wow.
At the end of episodes, we like to give a shout out to people who are supporting us on the shout out tier of Patreon.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Special thank you to Rhea Morris.
They're called Rhea the Playa because whatever sport you're recruiting for, they're ready. And let me tell you, the Paranormal Commune is a commune that does not have a lot of success in the world of sports. We are...
a ton of Olympic medals.
Yeah, we are legally a small country for tax reasons. So we do get to compete at the Olympics if we do qualify, which we don't.
Yeah, never have, never will.
So this could be our opportunity. Rhea could lead the charge. Javelin, shock put, high jump, some of the other ones.
Yeah.
We got the perfect candidate right here.
Okay. Thanks also to Gina Carr.
Gina Carr runs a competition where every month you can win a car.
Gina Carr?
You can win a car.
You mean win it?
No, legally she can't say that because the car, technically it isn't a car. Technically, you don't win it, you wean it.
Yeah, because weaning is like you wean a baby off milk or something.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
Wean yourself off cigarettes. Right?
Yeah. So she slowly steals your car.
Right.
You're weaned off your own car.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Once a month. If you're lucky or unlucky, I suppose. It's a bad price. So thank you, Gina. Give us some of those cars.
Thanks also to Anthony Asuega. They call him Anthony Asuega Mega Drive because if you blow in his cartridge, if you know what I'm saying, he'll do whatever you want.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to hear. I don't know what that... I'm going to pretend like I don't know what that means.
Yeah, if you blow in his cartridge, what are you thinking? He loves playing Sega Mega Drive. That's what I said.
Oh, so that's what what happens?
Yeah, sometimes he can't quite get the cartridge to work, so...
Oh! If he's got consoles, he's welcome at the commune because we don't really have any forms of entertainment. So Anthony, you bring some video game consoles to the front doors of the commune and I swear to God, you'll get in.
He also says if you perform sexual favors for him, he will bring the consoles.
Now you're banned. You're banned then.
Thanks lastly today to Brad Chain. Brad Chain sounds way too much like a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, Brad Chain.
Isn't it crazy how every intro song for wrestlers, you just do this with your mouth?
Sounds like most of them, yeah.
And that's just, all rock music.
Brad Chain actually isn't a wrestler. He owns a company where he sells bad chains.
Oh.
So if you have like a dog or a pet or a wolf or an animal that you actually really want to get rid of, he'll sell you a bad chain. And then on the first tag, that thing's loose in the world. You know, so if you have like a Cadejo, if you have a Cadejo, you're chained up and you're like, I don't want to get rid of this thing. But I know the public will yell at me if I set this beast loose.
Okay, got you. So your kids, your dad, your kids bring home a pet. Look, we found this cute puppy and he's
like foaming at the mouth.
Barely had one shot. And can we keep him? Can we keep him? Yeah, for sure. In fact, I'll take him for a walk right now.
Yeah. You buy one of these bad chains, and next thing you know, it'll happen right in front of them. Clink! Oh, shit! It wasn't Daddy, though, it was the chain. The poor, reliable chain.
This is so dark.
Boom, there you go, problem solved.
Up business. This is such a business.
Or if you're like, you don't have to use it for that. Like if you're rock climbing or something, and you have like a friend you've recently fallen out with, and they're kind of tethered to you for safety. Bad chain.
All right, murder.
Bad chain.
Absolutely murder. And don't buy that because if they find that on your credit card statement, you'll go to jail. So
I mean, if you're going camping with a buddy and they're bringing chains, that's a bit of a red flag anyway. I think they usually use ropes, strong ropes.
Don't tie up your friends. Brad, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone we've shouted out today. We'll be back with more shout outs from next week. In the meantime, enjoy Campfire on Thursday. Hope you're having a fantastic Halloween spooky season. So far, we know we are. We'll be back on Tuesday with a brand new paranormal tale.
Love ya.